So to start off with Robin, she was an orphan, right?
Okay.
Essentially, she was living with her aunt and her aunt's husband, who technically abused her in lieu of her cousin. So they barely even let her in the house other than to do chores. So she was always off by herself, just reading her books. She got bullied by the children. And then when she would defend herself from those children, they came back with their parents, and the parents bullied her now. She was completely isolated, and the only semblance of any happiness she had in her childhood was the scholars on the library. And when she finally thought she would get to the point where she could actually contribute something to them, they were like, nah, don't touch that. And then she kind of lost the one place where she kind of felt welcome. And then shortly thereafter, big giant Saul washes up on the island, followed by all this destruction and mayhem, right? And she is the only person left after her entire family, essentially with the scholars. Oh, wait. I'm saying, she meets Saul, right? And she gets that little momentary happiness. And obviously, when you have the fall after the happiness, it's worse. And then she loses Saul. She loses all the scholars. She meets her mom. And bro, when she's yelling out to her mom, please, I know I'm bigger, but I know you remember me, please. I'm Robin. It's still me. And she's wailing, and her mom just ignores her. They're like, no, you need to get out of here. And then Aokiji freezes Saul and then sends her on her way. And then she has to try to laugh herself, force the laugh to just stop her from just weeping and crying, right? And it doesn't end there, because she spends the rest of her life on the run with no friends, no family. Everybody's betraying her. The people that she stayed with try to turn her into the Marines. She has nowhere to go to. She has to betray everybody she meets up with, to the point where she doesn't know how to form connections anymore. She doesn't know how to trust people anymore. She doesn't feel like she wants to live. She's darn near suicidal. In fact, she sacrificed herself for the Straw Hats because she's like, man, I barely even remember what it's like to want to protect somebody else, because I haven't had anybody on my side for my entire life. Sasuke, on the other hand, at the very least, he had a happy childhood. Up until Itachi came in and murked his family, right? He had a relatively happy childhood.
Okay, go ahead.
He at least had parents. He had friends. He had a teacher.
Can I go?
But go ahead.
Okay. So you brought up how she was abused because she was emotionally abused by people around her because they used to make fun of her.
And physically.
Well, Sasuke was also emotionally abused by his father because his father did not recognize him his entire kid life because he was too busy focused on Itachi, because Itachi was the prodigy. He was living in his brother's shadow the entire time he was a child. Then when he finally gets to the academy, his whole clan gets wiped out. And not only did his whole clan get wiped out, his brother did it. His older brother killed his whole clan. And not only did his brother did it, he also showed him how he did it with the Tsukiyomi. Twice. He did that twice. Then when he wakes up from the first time he does it, he's all alone, has no one there with him. The only other person who actually even comes close to remotely knowing what he's about hates him, which was Naruto at first, because Naruto hated him at first for whatever reason. Then he finally makes a connection with Naruto and Sakura. And then after, the little happiness before the storm, like you said with Robin, then Itachi shows back up. Oh my God. What does Itachi do? He replays that shit. He put that bit on rewind. Remember when I did this to your parents? Remember I did this? You love me so much. He lied to Sasuke. He told him, you love me so much. You looked up to me and I was a fucking monster. And I killed our family. This is how I killed mom. Look at how I stabbed her. You see how I stabbed her? Look how I stabbed her. Look how I stabbed dad. Look how I stabbed auntie over there. You remember the little boy that I used to play with? I kicked him in his face. You know what I'm saying? Then, after that, he's basically driven to madness to the point where he leaves the village and seeks out the pedophile to come take him in. The man went to Orochimaru, who was talking about, let me get that body, young boy. Young blood, let me get that off you. You hear me? You hear me? The man went there, Orochimaru on people. The nigga with the long tongue. You feel me? The train. And then, once he trains, so his body's strong enough, Orochimaru tried to take his body. Of course, he saves himself. But then after he saves himself, he meets up with his quote-unquote brother-in-arms, who came back to bring him back to the village. Let's not forget when Naruto tried to bring him back to the village, the man literally said, I will break every bone in your body and drag you back. That sounds like abuse. That sounds like domestic abuse to me. That sounds like domestic abuse to me. Oh, no, I'm not done.
You're not done. I ain't done.
Then he runs off after he absorbs Orochimaru, and he meets up with this ragtag gang of ne'er-do-wells and becomes basically the most wanted person on the planet, right?
Oh, now we're getting to stuff that's not his backstory.
That is his backstory.
No, that's like the when the story starts and picks up.
I don't think it's sad after that, in my opinion. It's not a sad backstory after that.
You sure?
Once he leave Orochimaru, it's not sad.
Yeah, and let me put it this way too. Sasuke still at least had a goal and something he wanted to do with his life. He's like, I'm gonna get back with
Robin
Itachi,
did
right?
too. Robin
No.
still wanted to be an archaeologist. She still wanted to find out the history of the Void Century. She still was doing that, and she actually got good at that. She actually honed her skills and became a very good archaeologist. She was working with Crocodile, which was a warlord. She was working with other people.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no.
again, no, you got to remember there's a distinction between drive and escapism. This research was the only thing to keep Robin like, hey, at least there's something only I can do, right? Like that's the only semblance of something that gave her
Sasuke's
any bit of
only
purpose.
semblance was killing his own older brother that he loved for years, thinking that he was literally could not do no wrong, and then turning out that he was a monster and killed his whole village. That was
No, but
Sasuke's whole
he was still
semblance in the
able
beginning.
to at least draw
To the
people in
point
to assist
where
him.
hold on,
His-
no, to the
Okay.
point where he actually pushed all the people. Sasuke was willing to kill his best friend for power. This man literally said, Sasuke, if you want the eyes that I have, you have to kill your best friend. What did Sasuke immediately do after that? Naruto, I got a plot on you, bro. I got a plot on you, bro. Meet me on the rooftop, bro. Meet me on the rooftop right now. I'm about to fuck you up.
But
I'm about to fuck you
but
up.
you see how that's not sad? Though none of us are in here
That's
like
not sad.
No, it's not. It's
the
not.
only person that he considered to be a friend he's willing to kill for power? That's not sad?
No, man.
He didn't
Like,
want
my
to
thing
do
is,
it. He had to do
I'm
it.
listening to what's going on with Sasuke, and I'm like, dang, man, that's rough. But when I look at what happened to Robin now, that stuff's emotional, right? That's a different kind of
What's
feeling.
the difference?
Because-
Besides that, Robin didn't have to watch the scholars die. Besides that, Robin didn't have to watch her mother die. Sasuke seen it in HD 4K.
She was no.
That nigga saw it in 4K.
No, but bro,
Twice.
No, man, because there, yes,
You ever seen a movie twice that you didn't want to see? This movie trash, but I'm gonna have to force to watch it again. That's crazy.
No, man, but what I'm saying is, like, with Robin, though, she didn't have to, like, physically see her family die, but as she was, like, sailing away, she saw her entire home get wiped. Absolutely destroyed to the point where it gives her PTSD, where every time she hears those cannons, she hears, like, the butt she knows is coming, like, she can't even move, man. Like, that kind of stuff is emotional. That's sadness right there. What happened with Sasuke was edgy. Man, that's it.
Edgy?
It was edgy. That's
He
it.
went back to kill his brother.
All right,
He
all right,
spun
all
the
right.
block back
All right,
on
I heard-
Itachi.
All right, I heard enough.
Then, hold on, no, I'm not done.
Oh,
then he
no.
finds out that the brother that he was hunting down, that he monsterized, wasn't even that bad.
He was that
He
bad.
was framed. I mean, he was,
What I
but
say about Sasuke though, we find out at the end that shit was all capped with Itachi when Itachi say, "Hey, at the end of the day, I always loved you." So therefore, I can't say he was had a
yes,
sad,
but
he can't have a sad backstory.
how much emotional
Nah.
trauma is that
Nah,
to
bro,
think
I
that
think
someone that you always hated
that's a
always
lie.
loved you in
my
the
nigga know
beginning?
it's been a lie the whole
Listen,
time. It's been a
then-
lie.
But hold on. But then the dead brother that you killed, that you shouldn't have killed because he actually loved you, came back to life, and you see this nigga walking around as a dead corpse. Just, hey, yo, what's good, my nigga?
But he reconciled with
All
Itachi.
right. I heard enough.